Merry meet all. It's been a week since the last recording. I can't believe how quick time has gone. So I'm just following up of last week's vlog, and hopefully my voice is coming through okay. I've been under the weather all week, so it's impacted my efficiency, but still been more efficient than the average, but still I like to set impossible tasks on myself. I've been a little bit bronchial when I wake up in the morning, and I think it's a combination of allergies. I'm allergic to rodents, and I have rodents in my wall. My cat can't get to a rodent that's in the wall, and we're talking big ass rats, because the property has a large gap between the wall and the roof, because the grills that were once there have eroded to a point there's nothing there. And when I first moved in, they had to get someone in to bait them, and it looks like they have to do the same thing again, and or fix what they should have fixed in the first place. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, so unfortunately they're going to where I sleep because of warmth, body heat, and I'm waking up with my eyes swollen, so it's an indicator for me of allergies. And little bastards, I have to pretty much sleep with Asmi on in my bedroom, so I've pulled the TV into my bedroom, and that helps to drown out the running around in the walls and the roof, because I've also got possums and neighbours' feral cats having a fun time at night running around in my roof, and yeah, it's grand. Anyway, enough of that. So it's got to me, I think, eventually. Like, it's finally got to me, the lack of sleep, and yeah, wonderful. So last week I did a vlog on cals that I'm doing, and oh my goodness, I feel like I should have done this week. I should have done the first week of 2 more cals than I have done, but one has been an absolute pain in the bum, which I will get to. But I'll go through the ones that I have done and I'm happy with thus far. But anyway, so what do? If you're doing a cal or crochet along and you have a few weeks to choose from? I've got the hiccups again now. Great, hang on. There you go. I swallowed my hiccup. Hopefully that will stop now. So what do when you come across a week that doesn't quite sit right? It's not doing what you think it should, and you know it's not your ability to add a corners per se. It just seems like the stitch count is incorrect somehow, but it's such an old crochet along that you can't really see if there's been any adjustments, if you like. So anyway, what do? Do you go on to another week of that cal and come back to that one that's giving you a headache? I don't know. But anyway, so I'll get into it in a sec. So let's start off with the things that have worked well. And there's also a few flip through recipe books of garn that I have been intending to do, but it's just been crazy, rehabilitating ducks and just everything, just trying to do everything at once. It's just really hard on your own. When I say on my own, I mean on my own. I don't have parents, sisters, siblings, friends, anything like that, unless they're an animal, like my cat or my fish or the wild birds or my birds. I don't have anyone at all helping or doing anything, and I'm fine with that. But it can get hard. Also, I just want to make a note that yes, I'm playing classical music in the background in the kitchen. I have discovered the way to dampen the ire of the commission flats across from me, with the pervert across from me who keeps watching my door 24/7, who goes to the letterbox non-stop all day and yells at F and your butt and all these weird noises as loud as he can so I can hear it, because I'm working and studying from home. is to play classical music directly out of the window that he's trajecting his voice from. So whether he's still doing it and I just can't hear it because of the classical music, or I've dampened his ire, fantastic either way. Because, you know, it does get to you. Like hearing that non-stop every day of the week, it's like you feel like you need a holiday from your house. Yeah, you need a holiday from where you live. And that's crazy. Like, no one should have to deal with that nonsense. But I am, and I have been dealing with it for nearly 4 years now, and I finally feel like I've got on top of what to do. And it's only a radio. Wait till I get a stereo and put that there. I literally had 2 days where I had no F's, your butt, and get 'em, and all these weird words being yelled out non-stop all day. And then I had one day with only your butt early in the morning, and that was it. So I'm having an impact. And he's also got druggy drongo friends that when they go over, they don't just knock, they yell knock, knock. Like they yell it out to announce the whole neighbourhood, as if the whole neighbourhood wants to know them or hear them. And there's also this that coincides, and I'm like, oh my gosh, please die. Just so choke and die. Just go away, you disgusting. But you know, that just louses up your day every day. Hearing that sort of crap every day is just like, oh my, I'm paying private rent. Not my fault you live in a commission, and you're making it bad for everyone that does have to live in a commission, because no one, not even in a commission house, should have to put up with that. Like, I don't know, people like that should just be locked away somewhere so the rest of society can get on with their life. Everyone's got it hard as it is, no matter where, what situation or what level you're at. Everyone's struggling, usually. Anyway, enough of the rant and rambles and intro. So yeah, there was a few flip throughs I had intended to do, and I've just time-wise, there's 2 more knit like a Latvian. I did accessories, and did I do gloves and mittens? Anyway, I did one, and I've got to do 2 more, want to do 2 more I should say. There's also knitting from the north. Now I got this second hand, and yeah, there's some gorgeous patterns in here. However, I tried to do some of them with a DK yarn, which, as you know, is 4-ply, and 4-ply is just 8-ply, sorry, is just way too thick for these items. Like, you end up with something that's double the size, which might be good in some areas, such as a pullover if you want it extra baggy. But if you want to stay true to the size of the item, then, you know, I think you do need a sock yarn. So, but I do have the correct needles and circulars for the patterns in here at least. I just need to get on to finding some good supplies of sock yarn. We have really crappy supplies of sock yarn here in Australia, and the ones that you can buy, they charge you an arm and a leg. They really rip you off down here in Australia. It's really insane, even though we have sheep. Yeah. The other one I got as well secondhand is Highland knits, you know, inspired by Outlander, and chunkiness. There's lots of chunkiness in this. And out of all the, you know, I remember for a while there were heaps of yarn recipe books, you know, that had been inspired by the series Outlander, sorry, not Highlander. And I didn't feel like they were really true to the actual items that were created for the series, whereas this one I do feel like it is, like it's quite true to the texture and you know, items of the show, and being nice and thick as well. They're literally something that will rip up really quickly. And yeah, so yeah, I'm really happy that I've finally got this. It's by Interweave. I had had this in my sights for quite a while, a couple of years at least, but you know, it's just something that I never got round to getting. You know, there's a lot of things that I always want to get or do, and it's in there floating around in my head. It's just a matter of time before I finally get around to it. There was this really, let me try and see it. Was that under, let me just look at my garn here while we flip through and try and find what I'm looking for. Might not find it. Might not find it. Do do do. Do do do. No. I think it's what I'm thinking of is actually in another garn recipe book. Yeah, it is. Campania. Okay, anyway, so Highland Knits, an interweave publication. Now, I've done a couple of flip throughs which have included some of Stephanie's from Tiny Owl Knits work and Stephanie Dosen, and I don't feel like I want to do flip throughs in a certain way that I can timestamp and then do a blog with photos taken of the finished items. Not if I've finished them or not, but photos of the finished items in the actual pattern books, if you like, because if you're going to wait for me to finish them, we'll be here for years because of my list that keeps growing. But I really do want to dedicate, so if I'm doing a flip through of a pattern book, I really want to dedicate a proper vlog just to that one book, or two vlogs to that book, depending on the thickness. And I just don't feel like I've done that with Stephanie's book, so I want to do a retake of her recipe books and recipes in general, and basically vlog that. So let's look at my bright mess. I have a peppermint, calendula and poppy tea in there, and I've already filled my Blinky Bill mug. Yeah, it's been well loved. See all the enamel porcelain is cracked on my mug, but he is one of my favourite Blinky Bill mugs. So anywho's, alright, so a little trick when I do crochet alongs, I actually do a note of the garn that I need and I'm using. Often, being in Australia, I have to substitute. All these knit alongs or crochet alongs are using a DK garn, and I predominantly am using the Spotlight garn from the Spotlight store, so their own brand, Marvel, and that tends to work fine for me. They tend to have them on sale quite frequently, so that's the label there, 4 Seasons Marvel, and I'm happy for what they are, and they're acrylic as well. Now, so what I tend to do is I make a note of the hook sizes, the overall size, the amount of garn required for the project, and then I actually do notes on the weeks of what the pattern will need, just to keep that with my stash or whip or work in progress, to keep that all together. So I'm not then going, oh, where's that pattern there, and this is a quick reference. And anyway, so this is the Winter Berries by SIRDARS, which is a UK company, and basically I will add a link to the ones that we mentioned here that I've done. And basically Winter Berries is many stripes using very warm wine kind of colours and using different stitches. So we've got a crossover stitch, we've got a in UK terms treble stitch, which is a double crochet in US terms. We've got a puff stitch, and we got bobbles, which is supposed to be the berries, if you like. And it's quite, I love this. So this is the stripes going across. The length of the batten throw is this way. So, you know, obviously I've folded this width-wise quite a bit, by 4 times, but this will be basically 4 times the length of this, and then there'll be a border added on. And there's also an optional pattern with cedar, which is actually to make a pouch for the throw that you can put the throw in. I don't know, you know, that pouch could probably be made into a cushion cover, but because then it will be matchy, but I don't know if I'd want to waste. But mind you, when you put away a throw and you have a matching case for the throw, it keeps the dust off it, doesn't it? And then you can see what throw you're working with or getting, because you can see the colour on the outside of your linen cupboard. Yeah, so the colours I used in substitute with the Spotlight garn, the DK garn, is cream, Outback, dark bottle, purple, not deep purple. They do have a deep purple, which is a darker, I'll show in comparison, it's almost black, which the light's not going to pick up, of course. And where am I? Claret or Shiraz? What did I end up using? Let's have a look. I ended up using Shiraz. So Claret is even dark. No, Claret's the one under that. So Shiraz is the darkest red, which is almost like a burgundy wine. And I also used red. At first I used ruby, but ruby, this one here, is a little bit more in the darker tone, cooler tone I should say, whereas red is more of an orange red, which I think goes better with the Outback orange and the contrast with the purple. I also used gold as well. They use a olive colour which looks pretty much like olive oil in this cedar colour scheme, because it's using cedar garn, of course, but to get it here in Australia it's just ridiculous. Like, again, I'll get charged the moon and the sun. And you know, our stores don't really supply them here. We need better connections. I mean, my goodness sakes, you know, Australia and the UK, we should have e-commerce going really well between us both, but we don't. And it's insane. We're better e-commerce with bloody Asia. And that makes no diggity sense. Anyway, so that's the colour scheme. And basically the stitches are repeated and the colour scheme is repeated, but the colour scheme changes throughout using the same colours. So that is week 1, sorry, of the Winter Berries Throw Cal. The first stripe of the next week on this throw is actually a loop stitch, and in dark bottle this green. I can't wait to do that. I really haven't done a lot. I don't think I've done really anything with loop stitch, and it's one of those stitches I really have wanted to play with, but I know it does eat through your garn like you wouldn't believe. But anyway, so the next crochet along nice and bright, and this is sun gold, the color, and black, and this is aqua and black. I mean, hey, let that hit you on a grey, cold, dreary day. And Daytripper again is cedar. The colors I'm using in this Cal is bright orange, pink, turquoise is theirs. I've substituted that for aqua. Their bright orange I've substituted for the orange here. And sunflower, they have two skeins. I'm substituting that for sun gold, which is, you know, this one here. Their royal, we have royal, which is close to that too. One white, light fuchsia I'm using as their cupid, and I'm using one mint skein as their pistachio. But basically the week 1 of the Daytripper is literally these 2 squares. Now I've done extra squares because I'm also doing the Daytripper vest. I'll add a link to that in this this post. So basically I've done 2 extra squares in each colour for the vest. The vest will be nice and warm as well, especially over a skivvy. Oh, my cats drive me crazy. Okay. we'll save the headache, Cal, for later. Alright, so this one here's a Coronation Throw. And I just love the colours in this, I really do. This is the beginning centre square, which is the Tudor rose. So in future weeks, basically, you add the Tudor rose to the actual square. So this is the centre square, but I think it's going to also make a nice cover for, slight digression, I'm aiming on converting this shelf cube into a fancy pants bed for my cat, Miss Fox. Or a, if you like, a Heidi cave that I can put under my desk, because she always tries to jump on my lap when I'm trying to get shit done, and I can't handle it. It drives me crazy. Like, she tries to jump on my lap and pin me down, and I just can't. You know, poor girl, she's like, why can't I have an owner who just sits on her ass and eats ding-dongs and watches TV? She's got the worst owner always running around. And then, okay, so the centre, back to this. So the centre square is 9 rounds, and then you've got a ruby round, and then you've got 2 more cream, and their colour here, I've substituted that for our DK Saxe. I think it's Bluebell. So cream, ruby and bluebell from here, DK from Spotlight. And then you also had to do 4 more squares, which are 6 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 rounds. And then lots of these little mini motifs, which will make sense later. Like, literally, I haven't finished these. I need to make, I've done the purple, the deep purple I should say. So the colours I'm using are Cloud. Oh, sorry, no, that's not Cloud, that's Saxe. Cloud, Saxe, Duck Egg, Cream. I'm not sure if I'm going to use Sun Gold or Gold. I most likely will use sun gold, sorry, because it's more of a gold colour, which suits more of a crown opposed to this yellow, which is Sun Gold. Ruby and Deep Purple. Lime and Spearmint. Now, Spearmint is actually a DK yarn from Lincraft, which is the competition of Spotlight. I just find it's the perfect green for this. It's got a bit of a sea green tone to it. The green otherwise I'd use from Spotlight. It's just a little bit too green. I need it more sea green, which is what that is for this throw. So I literally have to complete doing the mini squares, and it's using 2 hooks. So the 4M millimeter hook is used for the squares, large squares. These mini squares you switch to a 3.5. So I literally need to make 24 rubies, 24 Saxes, that might help, 20 Spearmints, and 8 purples. And then I'm also making an extra 5 of each, because I've got another thing I want to do to go along with this throw, which I will share at some point, probably towards the end of this project. So yeah, I'm still doing these, but I'm actually thinking of doing double. So I'm thinking of making 2 of these centers, another 4 of these, because I'm actually thinking of making like something to cover this for my cat with some padding. But I'm also thinking of making a jacket and having this large square at the back and using these smaller squares at the front. So I'm going to make extra of those. So this week I'll be happy if I complete all the squares for week 1 of this of the Coronation Throw by SIRDAR. I'll be really happy. And then, okay, so this brings us, to this nightmare. So this is the Carnaby throw, or pullover, I'm doing both. So basically this is week 1 and you need to make 2 for the throw and 1 for the jumper. Now where the nightmares begun for me. Okay, so this is where I ended up. I nearly finished this and I'm like, oh, no, I don't know. So, okay, so this is the back. This is the outer edge of the back and this is facing in. Okay. So I don't mind that too much. It just looked worse than what I thought it was. Hang on, let me just move this hook out of the way. Yeah, no, that's fine. Oh, no. This is where, okay. Alright, so now originally if I was to match the colour pink to what she's got, so Katie Jones is the designer, it would be more like this. But I thought that would be too washy with the actual orange and it would blend in too much and not contrast like I wanted it to. But, you know, Miss Fox, you're not helping. But now I'm doing this, I'm thinking, oh, I don't know. I think I want to go back to, you know, be a bit more matchy to what she's got. Because the black is really, at the end of the day, the contrast, isn't it? And slight digression. The Daytripper throw and vest, I'm actually doing a black edge contrast, and I'm basically adding an extra round in black to frame it, so it's like stained glass, and you'll see how that turns out. So it's going to actually look different to how the end result of the Daytripper throw and vest looks. Anyway, so back to here. So I don't know, I'm thinking I'm going to redo again. So this thing, oh my goodness, I completed on Tuesday last week and then I ripped back and then I ripped back. Where I've been getting stumped is this. Okay, so I'm going to rip back anyway. So originally I looked at this green, which is a Lincraft green, which is Kelly, but I just don't know. I prefer the Spearmint. So okay, so that was one change. And then for some damn reason I can add corners to crochet quite easy. Okay, I've done it before, but the stitch count doesn't end up right. So you should end up with 4 chain 1 spaces at the beginning here on either side. I keep ending up with 3, doing the right stitch count of the corners to what she's got. So I don't know if there's an error in the actual numbering, the counts of the pattern. I think there is, which is like balls. So I don't know, I want to redo it anyway because this is fuchsia. I think I do want to switch this out for the pink, you know, so switching the color out. But anyway, so Kelly green, no. Spearmint, yeah. Now what I did was I actually did the corners, attaching the corners instead of around the chain 1 spaces. I crocheted them into the chain 1 spaces, and I actually prefer how it sits because I find as well going around it's just way too puckery, and even though I'm going to block it, I don't want that amount of puckering. However, when I went to this orange border, I should have done the same thing. I should have done the same into the chain 1 spaces, not around. So I'm going to rip back just the 3 border lines and, you know, correct that and make them so they are going. But if I do that, that means I have to do it. No, I'll do that. No, I don't know. Or the other thing too, I'm thinking I'm just going to rip back the corners, go around, but I like how this sits nice and flat. So maybe just for the orange, the first line of the orange, I will go into the stitch on the second line of the orange. I'll go around and that will keep it nice and flat. But this is now keeping true to the stitch count by doing that. But I need to rip back anyway because I'm switching the color. I really love fuchsia. I don't know. What's your opinion? Switch out the fuchsia for the watermelon, which is more truer to the color of the carnival throw and jumper. Don't know. Stay tuned to next week. Hopefully I'll nail this beast. we'll have some victory on it. Blessed be Mary Part, my big rambly